So I think this is a really great open space that probably could be like better utilised, like full of trees and just very serene. I think definitely some basic facilities here to make it more appealing and more comfortable. I think maybe a bench or two and definitely a bin, if not a specific dog bin, just due to there being lots of litter around, dog poo. So those I can see it more, making it unattractive, to be honest, to come and relax in. But we did have a barbecue down here a few weeks ago, and that was really nice. It's a really nice space to come and hang out in. So I think it could be a bit more well kept. It doesn't need to be anything major.
I am a resident on Ironside Road. What we have noticed over the years is nobody can find us. The postman, but delivery drivers, ambulance, paramedics, they can't find my number because there's no proper signage on any of the buildings. At the minute we're on the dead end of Blackstock Road, and we're coming to a walkway which is very overgrown. Wheelchair access and pram access would not be great.
So I live at the top of Ironside Road at Gleadless Valley. We're just on a little gennel behind the houses. There was a fire in the gennel behind us, which is meant to be the fire escape. At present it's full of rubbish, full of weeds. We can't get out if there is a fire, and actually there was a fire and the fire brigade couldn't get in to put the fire out.
Obviously some years ago the council have come in and put gates either end to block them off, so people have got no access from their back gates, and it's just become overgrown. You can obviously see people have fly tipped over the years. I do know, I've been told they're rat infested. We're just on top end of Ironside, and people are putting net and cages and blankets up on their balcony to stop pigeons nesting, because once the pigeons do nest, we've been told that you can't actually remove them until the chicks fledge. Obviously it creates a mess, the pigeons make a noise, it's not good for the neighbourhoods. We're also looking at some considerable mould coming in just under the roof. Looking up at it, it's probably an inch thick. So God knows what it's like inside the property. It can't be very nice for the residents.
Nobody's doing anything. I mean, the heating in the winter costs over £100 a week with children. I mean, you can't keep it warm because you'll have the heating on all day and it doesn't hold the heat. I mean, you'll shut the living room door for such, open it, and it's like you've not had the heating on at all. And then in the summer, they get overly hot, so you've constantly got windows open. There's a constant issue with flies. Bin rooms are always a mess. People, if the bin lids aren't open, people will just throw the rubbish on the floor. There's constant kids up and down banging on your doors, smoking drugs, doing cannabis. Like, everything that you could think of is constant. I mean, the worst thing I ever did was take this property, and I've been here for 2 years now, and it's the worst thing I've ever done. There's no way to get out. People don't want to exchange because people know how bad they are, and there's constant work that needs doing. Every single wall in my house is cracked. I can't decorate and it look nice because it's just pointless. Kitchen cupboards all mouldy, constant spiders, and it's not fair. I mean, most of us that live in these, because they are 2 beds, have got kids. I mean, the only road of 2 beds that I know of is this road, but my cousin lives in one down bottom and she's got the same problems. I've got a friend who lives in the next block who's got the same problems with like mould and stuff in kitchen. It's awful. Honestly awful, and no matter how many times you complain about things or you try and tell them that it's not livable, they just don't. It's like they don't care.
My best friend lives up at one of the houses further up near me, and her place is the Axie.
It's awful.
It's horrible up there, especially with all the drugs and everything.
I've spoke to the housing. They've told me that I need to speak to a housing officer, which, may I add, we do not have. Or if we do, they never come around. It's just horrible.
in a lot of people's opinions, they need to be knocked down. However, 6 months ago, the council put up a scaffold and painted the wall with some kind of solution which has shown how the building used to look. However, they've took the scaffolding down and nothing's been done since.
Well, the cars, they just seem to park anywhere. So there's people struggling to get round the cars, and you have to walk on roads, and the people that's in the wheelchair, it's very impossible for them to bump up and down, and if in case they have an accident and fall out of the chairs. Yeah, such as these grits get spilt over, and then if people are walking up, if they've got crutches or anything, and it's like a little tripping hazard.
Railings on front. My son's constantly saying, can I play on the front, can I play on the front? The railings are like corroded. How do I trust that that's going to hold him up and he's not going to fall off that bridge? It's quite high, and if he falls off that, I mean, he's only 3, he'll definitely break a bone. Such as that wall there, bricks falling off.
We're just looking at some green space at the end of Ironside, where it's between the flat roof houses and the concrete block. Be an amazing space to put some kind of play area for children, or benches for parents to come and sit out while the children play with a ball on the grass.
Poor pathways. There are narrow, unlit, muddy, unsafe paths, pavements, alleyways, all across the estate.
So yeah, we've just got to this area around the Lum, and it's got this really high fencing all around it, so you can't actually get to where the river is. It kind of feels like it's just separating you from the nature, from the really nice bit, and I can see why they've done it, to be preventative, to stop people throwing stuff in it and fly tipping, but really I don't think it's the best answer, because it means that people aren't enjoying the natural resources that are here, and it just looks really horrible. I mean, the fence isn't even, there's like 4 different kinds of fence used, and it's really just a shame to waste access to a really beautiful area.
We just come to a side street off Constable, which is just absolutely immaculate. All the neighbours' gardens are pristine, flowers. It's just like walking into a different world, you know, and it just shows that, you know, people do want to do better in the community. In the cut through, just at the back end of Ironside Road, and people use it to go up to Herdings and the tram stop and the school. Over the years you can see where we've had a project where they put steps in, they put a little bridge in, they put an opening in the fence. Actually quite a nice area, but of late it's filled with rubbish, it's not being maintained. We've got a little stream where the sediment coming down the valley has almost taken the stream away. There's no definition of the stream anymore. It just needs a good clean up. And in the winter it gets very, very boggy. So a little bit more work on the paths.
I think this handfoot space is very good for the kids to practice and play football. Saying so, the need of toilets or change of facility would be great. Otherwise, they will have to use, go behind the trees to do it. So, but I think this is a good opportunity for the young kids to be occupied during weekends.
The main issue really around here is the fact there is absolutely nothing for the children. Now, they were saying they were going to demolish the John of Gaunt pub, but now somebody mentioned the other day that there's some sort of reason why it shouldn't be knocked down. Don't know. And there was a plan one time that they were going to get, you know, those big long trailer things. They're like, you know, on the ships where they bring all the stuff in. We're going to myself and Pat's idea was to kind of start off by turning it into, say, something for tea, chairs and tables, and then have a notice board up and leave everybody that comes in know exactly what's happening, like a coffee morning, a craft day, knitting, crochet. A lot of people over at the club, they like playing the games, don't they? Scrabble and... yeah. I'd like something for everybody, the children, the youths, and then the elderly, because obviously they're stuck in their houses and they don't get out. Because we used to have a gym bus, didn't we? But unfortunately it broke down and there was no funding for it to go back. But we really loved going to the swimming and the gym. But obviously that's not happening right now. But I'd like to see that come back again.
I heard it. Some people say that they're going to start knocking the pub down. It could be a park for kids to play on, or another hub that people can go to and that. Well, same as when you knock school down at Top of Hill. There's nothing there now, it's just all covered in trees. They had a football field outside, which they took all goalposts down, and it's people just riding through it on the bikes and everything. There's all that land there, but nobody seems to know what they were going to build on it.
It's weird, we've been walking around looking at all the problems and all the issues in Gleadless Valley. However, I've been a resident here 15 years and I absolutely love the valley, the people in the valley. I do think there's a strong community in the valley. Yes, we have issues, but you know, who doesn't have issues? The only thing I would like to see is more effort put in to help us manage and clean up the valley, which there's a lot of people prepared to do. But, you know, we need help, we need machines, we need people on board.